Hello, my dear friends. So far we discussed about the concept of chemical equation, chemical reaction, balancing chemical equation, and types of chemical reactions. So types of chemical reaction ಅಲ್ಲಿ combination, decomposition, displacement, double displacement, and last class ಅಲ್ಲಿ exothermic and endothermic ಆಗಿತ್ತಲ್ವಾ. So maybe this will be the last video regarding this chapter. So in this today's class, we discuss about the concept of oxidation reaction, reduction reaction, and effects of oxidation in our daily life. So ಈ ಒಂದು 4 ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ ಆಯ್ತು ಅಂದ್ರೆ so this will be the last video regarding this chapter. So first of all, what is meant by oxidation and what is meant by reduction? Definition ನೋಡೋದಾದ್ರೆ oxidation and reduction. So here oxidation will refers the addition of, so ಇಲ್ಲೇನಾಗುತ್ತೆ with respect to oxygen, with respect to hydrogen, definition will be changed. So with respect to oxygen and with respect to hydrogen, definition ನೋಡೋದಾದ್ರೆ, so first one is oxidation. It refers to the addition of oxygen. It refers addition of oxygen or removal of hydrogen. Removal of hydrogen. So oxidation, it refers the addition of oxygen or removal of hydrogen. ಇದಕ್ಕೆ exactly opposite ಆಗಿ reduction reaction. So it refers the removal of oxygen or addition of hydrogen. ಸೊ ನೀವು ಲಾಸ್ಟ್ ಇಂದ ನೋಡ್ತಾ ಹೋದ್ರೆ ನಾನು ಮಾಡಿರೋ ವಿಡಿಯೋಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ವಿಡಿಯೋ ಕಾಂಬಿನೇಷನ್, ಡಿಕಂಪೋಸಿಷನ್ ಒಂದಕ್ಕೊಂದು ರಿಲೇಶನ್ಶಿಪ್ ಇತ್ತು. ದೆನ್ ಡಿಸ್ಪ್ಲೇಸ್ಮೆಂಟ್, ಡಬಲ್ ಡಿಸ್ಪ್ಲೇಸ್ಮೆಂಟ್, ಅದು ಹಾಗೆ ಆ ಎರಡು ರಿಯಾಕ್ಷನ್ ಒಂದಕ್ಕೊಂದು ರಿಸೆಂಬಲ್ ಆಗಿದ್ವು. ಸೊ ಎಂಡೋಥರ್ಮಿಕ್, ಎಕ್ಸೋಥರ್ಮಿಕ್ ಒಂದಕ್ಕೊಂದು ಆಪೋಸಿಟ್ ರಿಯಾಕ್ಷನ್ಸ್. ಸೊ ಇನ್ ದ ಸೇಮ್ ವೇ ಆಕ್ಸಿಡೇಷನ್ ಅಂಡ್ ರಿಡಕ್ಷನ್ ರಿಯಾಕ್ಷನ್. ಸೊ ಆಕ್ಸಿಡೇಷನ್ ರೆಫರ್ಸ್ ದ addition of oxygen or removal of hydrogen. Reduction refers the removal of oxygen or addition of hydrogen. So the first example for this oxidation reaction is, so when the copper metal or copper powders reacts with oxygen, it means when the copper powders burn in the presence of oxygen, there is a formation of black colored coating on the surface of copper metal. For example, ಇದೊಂದು copper ornament ಆಗಿತ್ತು ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಇದನ್ನ ಹೀಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದಾಗ there is a formation of black colored coating on the surface of this copper ornament. So basically copper is brown in color. So when this copper is burned in the presence of oxygen, it produces copper oxide, that is black colored coating, copper 2 oxide. So here this 2 will refers the oxidation state. ನಿಮಗೆ ಆಕ್ಸಿಡೇಷನ್ ಸ್ಟೇಟ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನಂತ ಹೈಯರ್ ಕ್ಲಾಸ್ ಗೊತ್ತಾಗುತ್ತೆ. So copper 2 oxide. So when the copper is react with oxygen or burn in the presence of oxygen, there is a formation of black colored coating on the surface of that copper ornament, that is nothing but copper oxide. So ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಅಬ್ಸರ್ವ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ reactant copper oxygen, but product is copper oxide. So ಇಲ್ಲಿ copper ಮಾತ್ರ ಇದೆ. So ಈ copper ಗೆ oxygen add ಆಗಿದೆ, copper oxide. That's why it is called as oxidation reaction. So okay, this is an example for oxidation reaction. So when the copper reacts with oxygen, there is a formation of copper oxide, that is nothing but black colored coating. So here copper is oxidized to form copper oxide. So here we already get the heated copper oxide, right? So when the hydrogen gas is passed over this copper oxide metal, means when the hydrogen gas is passed over this copper oxide ornament, there is a reversible reaction takes place. ಅವಾಗ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, ಇರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ black color coating remove ಆಗಿ again we get the copper. So when the copper oxide reacts with hydrogen gas, means when the hydrogen gas is passed over this copper oxide, so ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನಿಮಗೆ it is black in color, means black color formation ಆಗಿರ್ತದೆ. That black color formation will be removed and we get the copper and water. So it is copper, again ನಮಗೆ brown color formation ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. So ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಅಬ್ಸರ್ವ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ copper oxide, here copper, removal of oxidation takes place. So here removal of oxygen means reduction reaction. So ಇದನ್ನ again ಮತ್ತೆ ಬರ್ಕೊಂಡು explain ಮಾಡೋದಾದ್ರೆ, when the hydrogen gas is passed over copper oxide, there is a formation of copper and water molecules. So here copper oxide, copper, so copper oxide in the copper formation ಆಗಿದೆ. So here removal of oxygen takes place. Removal of oxygen takes place. That is nothing but reduction reaction. Correct. ಸೊ ಬಟ್ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಅಬ್ಸರ್ವ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಸ್ಪೆಷಲ್ ಕೇಸ್ ಇದೆ. ಕಾಪರ್ ಆಕ್ಸೈಡ್ ಇಂದ ಆಕ್ಸಿಜನ್ ರಿಮೂವ್ ಆಗಿ ಕಾಪರ್ ಆಗಿದೆ. ಬಟ್ ಹಿಯರ್ ಹೈಡ್ರೋಜನ್, ವಿತ್ ರೆಸ್ಪೆಕ್ಟ್ ಟು ಹೈಡ್ರೋಜನ್ ದೇರ್ ಈಸ್ ಎ ಅಡಿಷನ್ ಆಫ್ ಆಕ್ಸಿಜನ್ ಟೇಕ್ಸ್ ಪ್ಲೇಸ್. ದೇರ್ ಈಸ್ ಎ addition of oxygen takes place. That is nothing but oxidation reaction. So in this reaction both the oxidation also takes, both the reduction and oxidation takes place. Correct. So the type of chemical reactions in which both oxidation and reduction takes place simultaneously, and those type of chemical reactions are called as redox reactions. Redox reactions. So here both the reduction and oxidation takes place simultaneously. So ಯಾವುದೇ ಒಂದು ಕೆಮಿಕಲ್ ರಿಯಾಕ್ಷನ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ರಿಡಕ್ಷನ್ ರಿಯಾಕ್ಷನ್ ಮತ್ತೆ ಆಕ್ಸಿಡೇಷನ್ ರಿಯಾಕ್ಷನ್ ಒಟ್ಟಿಗೆ ಆಗಿರುತ್ತೆ ಅಲ್ವಾ, and those type of chemical reactions are called as redox reactions. So here red reduction, oxidation. So the type of chemical reactions in which both reduction and oxidation takes place simultaneously, and those type of chemical reactions are called as redox reactions. So ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಅಬ್ಸರ್ವ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಕ್ವಶನ್ ಏನ್ ಕೇಳಬಹುದು ನಿಮಗೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ, which reactant undergo oxidation and which reactant undergo reduction ಅಂತ ಕೇಳ್ತಾರೆ. So here copper is reduced to form, here copper oxide is reduced to form copper. Hydrogen is oxidized to form water molecules. So here copper oxide is reduced, hydrogen is oxidized. So with respect to this example, which one is undergo oxidation and which one is undergo reduction? So here copper oxide is reduced to form copper. Hydrogen is oxidized to form water. So copper oxide undergo oxidation reduction process, hydrogen undergo oxidation process. So here the reduced substance is copper oxide and oxidized substance is hydrogen. ನೆನಪಿರಲಿ. ಸೊ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನಿಮಗೆ ಕೇಳೋದು, ಫಾರ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ ಇದೊಂದು ರಿಯಾಕ್ಷನ್ ಕೊಟ್ಟು ಇದರಲ್ಲಿ ವಿಚ್ ಒನ್ ಈಸ್ ಅಂಡರ್ಗೋ ರಿಡಕ್ಷನ್ ಆರ್ ವಿಚ್ ಒನ್ ಈಸ್ ಅಂಡರ್ಗೋ ಆಕ್ಸಿಡೇಷನ್ ಅಂತ ಕೇಳಬಹುದು, ಅಥವಾ ನೇಮ್ ದ ಸಬ್ಸ್ಟೆನ್ಸ್ ವಿಚ್ ಈಸ್ ರೆಡ್ಯೂಸ್ಡ್ ಅಂಡ್ ನೇಮ್ ದ ಸಬ್ಸ್ಟೆನ್ಸ್ ವಿಚ್ ಈಸ್ ಆಕ್ಸಿಡೈಸ್ಡ್ ಅಂತ ಕೇಳಬಹುದು. ಸೊ ಹಿಯರ್ ಕಾಪರ್ ಆಕ್ಸೈಡ್ ಅಂಡರ್ಗೋ ರಿಡಕ್ಷನ್ process and copper oxide is a reduced substance and hydrogen gas is oxidized substance. So copper oxide reduced to form copper, hydrogen is oxidized to form water. So one more example for redox reaction is when zinc oxide react with carbon or coke, it produces zinc and carbon monoxide. So here zinc oxide is reduced to form zinc, reduction, and carbon undergo oxidation to form carbon monoxide, oxidation. So here zinc oxide is a reduced substance, carbon or coke is a oxidized substance. So zinc oxide undergo reduction or zinc oxide is reduced to form zinc, carbon is oxidized to form carbon monoxide. So this is about the oxidation reaction and reduction reactions. So the next concept is, and the last concept of this chapter is, effects of oxidation in our daily life. So ಅದರಲ್ಲಿ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಒನ್ ಈಸ್ ಕರೋಷನ್ ಅಂಡ್ ದ ಸೆಕೆಂಡ್ ಒನ್ ಈಸ್ ರ್ಯಾನ್ಸಿಡಿಟಿ. ಸೊ ನಿಮಗೆ ಕರೋಷನ್ ಟಾಪಿಕ್ ಅಗೇನ್ ಮೆಟಲ್ ನಾನ್ ಮೆಟಲ್ ಚಾಪ್ಟರ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಮತ್ತೆ ರಿಪೀಟ್ ಆಗಿ ಬರುತ್ತೆ, ನೆನಪಿರಲಿ. ಎಫೆಕ್ಟ್ಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಆಕ್ಸಿಡೇಷನ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ದ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಒನ್ ಈಸ್ ಕರೋಷನ್. ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಒನ್ ಈಸ್ corrosion. So one of the easiest example for corrosion is rusting of iron. So what is meant by corrosion? In simple words, corrosion is nothing but slow destruction of the metals. So metals slowly and gradually destruct ಆಗ್ತಾ ಹೋಯ್ತು ಅಂದ್ರೆ that is nothing but corrosion. So here the corrosion is nothing but it is a when the metal surfaces are attacked by substances like oxygen or moisture or acids, then the metal is said to be corrode, and this phenomena is called as corrosion. So when the metal surfaces are attacked by the substances like oxygen, acids and moisture or water, then that metal is said to be corrode, and that phenomena of that is called as corrosion. So one of the easiest example for the corrosion is rusting of iron. So illénagutte, when the iron reacted with oxygen and moisture, so when the iron is reacted with oxygen and moisture, there is a formation of rust, that is nothing but Fe2O3 XH2O. This is ferric oxide, or this is called as rust. It is brown in color, correct? So when the iron is reacted with oxygen and the moisture present in the atmosphere, there is a formation of rust, that is nothing but Fe2O3 XH2O. ಸೊ ಈ ಒಂದು ರಿಯಾಕ್ಷನ್ ನಿಮಗೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಬ್ಯಾಲೆನ್ಸ್ ಆಗಿಲ್ಲ, ಇದು ನೆನಪಿರಲಿ. this is not a balanced chemical equation. So this is one of the example for corrosion. And the second one is when the silver react with sulfur, there is a formation of, when the silver react with sulfur, there is a formation of black colored coating, that is nothing but silver sulfide. So when the silver react with sulfur, there is a formation of black colored coating on the substances, that is nothing but silver sulfide. So in the third one is when the copper react with carbon dioxide and water, there is a formation of green layer on the substance, that is nothing but copper carbonate, CuCO3, copper carbonate. These are the three examples for the corrosion. So hagadre how to prevent the corrosion? So the methods for the prevention of corrosion is, first one is oiling, painting, greasing, galvanization, formation of alloys. These are the some of the methods for the prevention of corrosion. So ನಿಮಗೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ methods for the prevention of corrosion ಮೆಟಲ್ ನಾನ್ ಮೆಟಲ್ ಚಾಪ್ಟರ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಕಂಪ್ಲೀಟ್ ಆಗಿ ಬರುತ್ತೆ, ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇನ್ ಡೀಟೇಲ್ ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಹೋಗ್ತೀನಿ. ಸೊ ದ ಸೆಕೆಂಡ್ ಎಫೆಕ್ಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಆಕ್ಸಿಡೇಷನ್ is rancidity. So here corrosion process is with respect to metals. So here rancidity process is with respect to food items. So what is meant by rancidity? ಹಾಗಾದ್ರೆ rancidity is nothing but rancidity occurs when oil and fat containing food items exposed to air for a long time. So ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಆಯಿಲ್ ಮತ್ತೆ ಫ್ಯಾಟ್ ಕಂಟೈನಿಂಗ್ ಇರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಫುಡ್ ಐಟಮ್ಸ್ ಲಾಂಗ್ ಟೈಮ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಆಕ್ಸಿಜನ್ ಗೆ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪೋಸ್ ಆದ್ರೆ, ಸೊ ವೆನ್ ದ rancidity occurs when the food items containing oil and fats exposed to air for a long time, there is a occurrence of oxidation process. So on that time there is a formation of foul smell and the taste of that food will be changed. That process is called as rancidity. So rancidity occurs rancidity occurs when oil and fat containing food items exposed to air for a long time, it leading to oxidation process, and there is a formation of foul smell, and the taste of food will be changed. This process is called as rancidity. So ಇಲ್ಲಾಗುತ್ತೆ ಫ್ಯಾಟ್ ಆಯಿಲ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಫ್ಯಾಟ್ ಕಂಟೈನಿಂಗ್ ಫುಡ್ ಐಟಮ್ಸ್ ಏರಿಗೆ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪೋಸ್ ಆದ್ರೆ ಸೊ ಏರ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಆಕ್ಸಿಜನ್ ಪ್ರೆಸೆಂಟ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ಅಡಿಷನ್ ಆಫ್ ಆಕ್ಸಿಜನ್ ದಟ್ ಇಸ್ ನಥಿಂಗ್ ಬಟ್ ಆಕ್ಸಿಡೇಷನ್ ರಿಯಾಕ್ಷನ್. ಸೊ ಆಕ್ಸಿಡೇಷನ್ ಆಯ್ತು ಅಂದ್ರೆ ದ ಸ್ಮೆಲ್ ಆಫ್ ದಟ್ food and the taste of that food will be changed. That process is nothing but rancidity. So what are the preventive measures for the rancidity? So in case ಯಾವುದೇ ಒಂದು ಫುಡ್ ಐಟಮ್ಗೆ rancidity ಆಯ್ತು ಅಂದ್ರೆ that food item is not fit for the consumption. So ಹಾಗಾದ್ರೆ how to prevent the rancidity? So the methods for the prevention of rancidity are so the preventive measures of rancidity. The first one is, so store the food items in a airtight containers. Store the food in airtight containers. So ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಆ ಒಂದು ಅಲ್ಲೇನಾಗುತ್ತೆ ಆ ಫುಡ್ ಐಟಮ್ಸ್ ಏರ್ ಟೈಟ್ ಕಂಟೈನರ್ ಒಳಗೆ ಸ್ಟೋರ್ ಆಗಿತ್ತು ಅಂದಾಗ ಸೊ ಅಲ್ಲಿ there is no reaction between the food items and oxygen which is present in the atmosphere. ಸೊ ರಿಯಾಕ್ಷನ್ ಆಗಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಆಕ್ಸಿಡೇಷನ್ ಆಗಲ್ಲ. ಸೊ ಆಕ್ಸಿಡೇಷನ್ ಆಗಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಆ ಫುಡ್ ಐಟಮ್ಸ್ ಡೆಸ್ಟ್ರಾಯ್ ಆಗಲ್ಲ. ಸೊ ದ ಸೆಕೆಂಡ್ ಮೆಥಡ್ ಇಸ್ ಸ್ಟೋರ್ ಆರ್ ಕೀಪ್ ದ ಫುಡ್ ಐಟಮ್ಸ್ ಇನ್ ಎ ರೆಫ್ರಿಜರೇಟರ್. ಸೊ ಕೀಪ್ ದ ಫುಡ್ ಐಟಮ್ಸ್ ಇನ್ ಎ ರೆಫ್ರಿಜರೇಟರ್. ಸೊ ರೆಫ್ರಿಜರೇಟರ್ ಆರ್ ನಥಿಂಗ್ ಬಟ್ ಫ್ರಿಡ್ಜ್. ಸೊ ಅದ್ರೊಳಗೆ ಇಟ್ಟಾಗ ಅದು ಈಸಿಯಾಗಿ ಹಾಳಾಗಲ್ಲ. ಸೊ ದ ಥರ್ಡ್ ಒನ್ ಈಸ್ usage of antioxidants. So usage of antioxidant. So here antioxidant, it is a substance which prevent oxidation. So antioxidant is nothing but a substance which prevent oxidation. So you have to use the antioxidants in order to prevent the rancidity. So here example for antioxidants are BHA and BHT, butylated hydroxyanisole, butylated hydroxytoluene. Butylated hydroxyanisole, butylated hydroxytoluene. These are the two examples for antioxidants. And the fourth preventive measure is, so ನೀವು ಅಬ್ಸರ್ವ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರ ಈ ಚಿಪ್ಸ್ ಪ್ಯಾಕೆಟ್ಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಲೇಸ್ ಅಥವಾ ಚಿಪ್ಸ್ ಪ್ಯಾಕೆಟ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದು ಗ್ಯಾಸ್ ಫಿಲ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ದಟ್ ಇಸ್ ನಥಿಂಗ್ ಬಟ್ ನೈಟ್ರೋಜನ್ ಗ್ಯಾಸ್. ಸೊ ನೈಟ್ರೋಜನ್ ಗ್ಯಾಸ್ ಈಸ್ ಯೂಶುವಲಿ less reactive in nature. That's why nitrogen gas is filled in the chips packets. So in order to prevent the rancidity, you have to pack the food items in a nitrogen gas. So usage of nitrogen gas in chips packets. These are the four preventive measures for the prevention of rancidity. So rancidity is prevented by storing of the food items in the airtight containers and store or keep the food items in the refrigerators, and usage of antioxidants is nothing but the substances which prevent oxidation, that is BHA and BHT. These are the examples for antioxidants. And the fourth measure for the prevention is usage of the nitrogen gas or pack the chips in a nitrogen gas. These are the 4 preventive measures for the prevention of rancidity. So ಇದಕ್ಕೆ ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಪ್ರಿವೆಂಟಿವ್ ಮೆಜರ್ಸ್ ಏನು ಹೇಳ್ಬೋದು ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಯು ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಟು ಸ್ಟೋರ್ ದ ಫುಡ್ ಐಟಮ್ಸ್ ಅವೇ ಫ್ರಮ್ ದ ಸನ್ಲೈಟ್. ಸೊ ಸನ್ಲೈಟ್ ಗೆ ಡೈರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪೋಸ್ ಆಗದೇ ಇರೋ ಹಾಗೆ ಸ್ಟೋರ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಆಲ್ಸೋ ಒನ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ಪ್ರಿವೆಂಟಿವ್ ಮೆಜರ್ಸ್ ಫಾರ್ ದ ಪ್ರಿವೆನ್ಷನ್ ಆಫ್ rancidity. ಸೊ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನಿಮಗೆ ಕೇಳೋ ಕ್ವಶನ್ ಯಾವುದು ಅಂದ್ರೆ, ಸೊ ಈ ಒಂದು ಟಾಪಿಕ್ ಮೇಲೆ ಆಲ್ಮೋಸ್ಟ್ 2 ಮಾರ್ಕಿಂಗ್ ಕ್ವಶನ್ಸ್ ಬರ್ತಾ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ಕರೋಷನ್ ಪ್ರೋಸೆಸ್ ಮೆಟಲ್ ನಾನ್ ಮೆಟಲ್ ಮತ್ತೆ ಬರುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ಹಾಗಾಗಿ rancidity ಮೇಲೆ ಕ್ವಶನ್ಸ್ ಕೇಳೋ ಚಾನ್ಸ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಏನ್ ಕೇಳಬಹುದು, ಒಂದು what is meant by rancidity, first question, and the second one is mention the preventive measures of rancidity, and the third one is reasoning question ಬರುತ್ತೆ ಯಾವುದು, nitrogen gas. So the chips packets are flushed by nitrogen gas, why ಅಂತ ಕೇಳ್ತಾರೆ. So these are the most probable questions with respect to rancidity process. So here, so ಇಲ್ಲಿಗೆ ನಮ್ಮ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಚಾಪ್ಟರ್ ಇನ್ ದ ಕೆಮಿಸ್ಟ್ರಿ, ದಟ್ is nothing but chemical reactions and equations ಕಂಪ್ಲೀಟ್ ಆಗಿದೆ.